Hey, I've been thinking about dreams lately, and I wanted to say something that might sound almost disappointing at first. I'm not that interested in the three steps away and your dreams come through version of dreams. I mean, not because dreams are bad, but because that storyline usually skips the part that matters most. The part where you ask, what is this dream actually trying to give me? And nobody gets to question your wanting. But I think we should be honest about something. I don't think anyone is dreaming of a beautiful life so they can be miserable inside it. And I don't think anyone is dreaming of a bigger house so they can feel anxious in every room. And I don't think anyone is dreaming of success so they can live with constant stress, constant pressure, and no time. Anyway, but if that's what the dream is costing you, okay, but something is off. Not you, the way you're trying to get it. Dreams are not random, dreams are dream. Go for it in any dream. But the way you're trying to get it, sometimes the dream is real, and sometimes the dream is a symbol for something deeper you've been trying to touch. Maybe it's security, maybe it's freedom, maybe it's peace, maybe it's the feeling of being held without needing to perform. Maybe it's the feeling of finally being able to keep a promise to yourself. And I want to talk about that promise part for a second because I've met people, maybe you've met them too, who say things and then they don't do them. And it's not always evil. Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's overwhelm. Sometimes it's habit. But still, it changes you being around it. It teaches your body to distrust words. It teaches your body to prepare for disappointment. And if you grew up around that, promises that didn't land, love that didn't stay consistent, then a dream can become more than a goal. It can become a repair attempt. Like, if I can finally make this happen, then something in me will finally relax. And I get that. I really do. But what I want to offer, you can go after what you want without making yourself miserable, without losing your integrity, without turning into someone you don't recognize, without using other people, without betraying your actual life. Because that's the part people don't say out loud. Sometimes people achieve the dream by becoming harder or louder or more manipulative or more performative. Not because they are toxic, but because the system rewards that shape. We know that. And they decide consciously or unconsciously. This is the cost. And maybe that's the real question. Not do I want it, but what am I willing to become to get it? Because if the dream requires you to abandon yourself, it's not a dream anymore. It's a trait. And this is where it gets subtle, because you can also trick yourself. You can tell yourself, it's fine, it's easy, nothing can go wrong. And you can spend money on something you're not ready for, or doing something that promises certainty, or chase the shiny version of progress. Or later you realize it wasn't aligned. I've been there. Regardless, everything can teach you something, and it just looked like alignment from far away. And I think this is why dream culture can get a little, strange. It can turn into pressure. Like you're supposed to want bigger things. Like you're supposed to prove something. Like if you don't want a loud version of success, you're not ambitious. But some of us don't need bigger dreams. We need truer ones. We need dreams that fit inside a real life, not dreams that consume it. And this is the part that changed things for me. I started noticing that meaning doesn't always come before action. Sometimes meaning comes after. Sometimes you do something because you feel pulled and you don't fully understand why. You just know your attention keeps going there. And then later, meaning arrives, like it was catching up. Even language works like that. Words are made up, culture is made up, rules are made up, and still, somehow, these made up things shape a real life. And meaning gets created after the fact, after the doing, after the living. So you're waiting to feel 100% sure before you move. You might be waiting for something that only arrives because you moved. Not because you forced momentum. Not because you rushed. Just because you took one honest step. And I think a lot of people confuse preparation with integrity. Like if they prepare enough, it means they care. And sometimes that's true. But sometimes preparation becomes a hiding place. A very intelligent hiding place. A very responsible looking hiding place. And then the dream starts feeling far away. Not because it's impossible, but because you keep trying to reach it from the safest distance. So here's a gentler approach that doesn't require the fantasy. When you feel yourself wanting something, anything, try asking, what does this represent? What feeling do I think it will finally give me? And what problem am I actually trying to solve? And then can I start solving that problem now? And in small ways. Without waiting for the external thing to arrive first. Because if your dream is really about safety, then building a life that constantly destabilizes you is not the path. And if your dream is really about freedom, then choosing work that traps you is not the path. If your dream is really about peace, then grinding your nervous system into the ground is not the path. And yes, sometimes the path is challenging. Sometimes it's hard, but hard and harmful are not the same. Challenging and miserable are not the same. You can do meaningful work that asks a lot of you and still feels clean inside. still feels like you. And maybe that's the quiet definition of success. Not I got everything I wanted, but I stayed myself while I built what I wanted. So if you're holding a dream right now, I'm not going to tell you it's 3 steps away, but I'm not going to tell you it's also guaranteed. But I will say this: if it matters to you, it deserves a path that doesn't cost you your integrity. And if the dream is real, it won't require you to abandon your life to earn it. You don't need to force momentum. When something is clear, you do need to move. Even softly, even imperfectly, even before meaning fully arrives. So if this resonates, I guess you don't have to rush it. You can just sit with the question: what am I actually trying to feel? And what would it look like to build toward that quietly on purpose? And that's enough for today.